Okay, the aliens are here. The aliens are here. Everybody knows that the aliens are here. All you have to do is open your eyes. Why are the aliens here? Well, how about all the people who've seen aliens? Go to YouTube and type up UFO. Um, there's this guy called Stephen Greer. He did this thing called Disclosure Project, where he got all the people, all these people who work for the government, like the Air Force and stuff, to actually disclose, to tell their story. And you can see it. It's like 2 hours long. It's just one person after the next, saying, telling that they saw something. People are seeing stuff all over the skies, on radar, with their eyes. People are even getting abducted, taken to other planets, taken up in spaceships. You have to believe these people. I mean, nobody, no government, no group of people could ever orchestrate a conspiracy of that magnitude. People don't work together like that. How about the people who describe the little gray aliens, like like what Willie Shieber had, the guys with the big eyes? Everybody describes the same thing. Everybody describes them doing the same thing. So it has to exist. You can't shut your eyes, off your ears, and say no, it doesn't exist. You have to agree that it exists. People love to lie. I mean, this world thrives off of liars. Some countries, everybody has to lie just to stay alive, but this is, America, people don't have to lie here. So why are people lying? People don't tell stories like that just to tell stories. They're telling the truth. I've seen stuff too. Once I got stoned and I prayed for an alien to come down 10 minutes later. I was in Slick Rock, Utah. I look north. There's hundreds of miles of nothing. And I see red, green, yellow going from left to right, and then right to left, and from outside to the center, and then from the center to the outside. Probably like a dozen lights or 20 lights. Kind of like, how you would imagine a flying saucer with the little portals on the side of it. And everything in my room, everything I own, my skis, my computer, my rollerblades, both of my bikes, my computer, everything was painted Rasta colors, red, green, and yellow. And that was the color of these lights. So, and then I said to my friend, I go, hey, let's go out there. And he goes, no, I'm scared. And right then the lights disappeared. And not just about aliens are here, spirits are here too, this world, it's not just about us. There's also other things living here in this world that we can't see, like in another dimension. And now, this other thing happened to me back in I think it was 2000, like March of 2000. I got up one morning. I had a paper route, and so I got up at like 5 o'clock every morning. I get up one morning, I look through my car, and I had this big crack that went all the way across my windshield, and it stopped 3 inches from the edge of my windshield. I get up, I look through my windshield, immediately I go, holy shit, where did the crack go? No crack, my windshield was fixed. I had the car at the shop like 3 days before that, so I called them and I said, did you guys fix my windshield? And they asked around and they had no idea what I was talking about. I mean, I guess that was like 3 or 4 days before. I would have noticed between that time and that morning, because it was a crack that went right through my line of sight. It was kind of, it would have been annoying to a normal person, but I had gotten used to it because I've been there for like 4 years, steadily growing. And then 3 days later, I used to have a gape between my teeth. I used to put like rubber bands between my teeth to bring my teeth together. And it wasn't like I was one of those gape tooth people, but I did have a gape between my teeth, and I didn't like it. I get up one morning, I feel like flesh, gum falling down between my two teeth, like I'd been punched or something. And so I go, I look in the mirror, and I notice that my teeth are completely together, just like they are now, completely together. And so that makes no sense at all. And it happened 3 days after the crack incident. So I have to believe it. If anybody tells me something, if you tell me you were abducted by aliens, I have to believe you, because that kind of stuff happens to me. Once I was in New Mexico, I saw a fireball at midnight go across the sky. It actually had fire fall off of its tail. The tail went all the way. It was really long. It turned up the sky like it was daytime for like a second or two. I looked off in the horizon. We might as well have been in day. We pulled over where we asked this cop who was busting somebody for DUI, did you see that? He said no, but he said there was some kind of like Air Force base near there or something like that. But I don't know what that was, because it was totally quiet. Couldn't have been a comet, because it would have been in the news or would have crashed. And I mean, it was huge. It was like right on the horizon. And once I saw a shooting star that went all the way across the sky, but that was probably just a comet. Oh, I was in Page, Arizona, camping out, sleeping on my back in the town of Page. I see a satellite fly across the sky. 5 minutes later, I see 5 satellites in formation go across the sky. So, satellites don't fly in formation. What was that? So those are my personal experiences. I've never been like abducted to my knowledge. Never taught. I've met 2 people who've claimed to be extraterrestrials, but one guy was just this homeless dude. I think he was just pulling my leg. This other lady, I don't know if she was right or not, or if she was. She looked normal to me. So, my personal experiences. How about all those other people who say they've seen something? All the stories that people say of when this big black thing hovers over their ship, and then the nuclear warhead was frozen. Nobody knows why. I've also read a lot of books written by aliens. The Turians, Pleiadians, Sirians, Zetas. I think all of those guys. And it makes sense to me what they say. They have a whole history of the Earth, which was another topic. But then another reason why we should believe that there's aliens here is what about all of the megaliths in the world? Baalbek, Lebanon, there's this rock. It's about 80 feet by 80 feet. It's huge. It weighs 800 tons or something ridiculous. It's gigantic. And it's perfectly flat. It's tilted on its side. And there's another one standing up. They had to have been drugged there, I think, from like miles away. How was that made? The pyramid, those stones, what are they, like 300 tons or something? You'd have to make if you're going to pull it, like the people say, on those rolling logs, if you were to do that without breaking the thickest rope, the ramp would have to be a mile long. And those things are perfect. The pyramid is perfect. It goes to true north from the 400 feet long or whatever it is. It's only off by like 1/8 of an inch or something like that to true north. Like, how would they have known that? It's also perfect. If you look in the inside of the passageways, everything's perfect. And all those stones in the middle are also huge, and they're made out of granite, which is very heavy, and they had to have taken it from, I think, 60 miles away. So then there's a spire in France that was 60 feet high that fell down, and it's made out of huge rocks. You have Stonehenge. How did people get those rocks up there? This place called Sacsayhuaman outside of Cusco. I was there. The stones are bigger than my van, piled up on top of each other. When the Spaniards came, they tried to take it apart to demoralize the Incans, and they could only take 1/5 of it apart. Maybe it was 1/5 or 4/5, but they couldn't even take the rest of it apart because the stones are just too big, and they're fit perfectly together. You can't put a knife in any of it. There's no crack in any of it. What else? There's stuff like this all over the place. Well, then you have other things that are below the water level from before when the water rose. There's this place off the coast of Japan that's cut through rock perfectly. And then there's another place called Tiwanaku outside of La Paz, Bolivia, that is made. It's 13,000 feet high, but it's made out of rocks as big as this room. And inside the rocks, they have little like pieces that connect them like puzzles. So you had to place them perfectly on top of each other. And also the Great Pyramid inside of one of their passageways. When they drilled a hole through it, the air passageway, and they looked in it, they found these 2 iron hooks. So the Iron Age definitely didn't start back in like 1000 BC or whatever they said it started.